Alrighty. There it is, man. What's going on, world? What's going on, world? You know we back at it. We back to it, man. Back to it, man. Let's see, man. Let me hold on, man. This ain't even looking right. Ain't even looking right. Hold on. Let me grab the eraser. You know we here. We back at it. Put the badge away. No, the badge gonna stay right there. Put the badge right there. Dry eraser, but it's a little stained up. They had the little nasty white rag a while ago. I had to move that joint because I'm like, bruh, that shit dirty as hell. But this green rag, it really ain't no different. It just look a little better, but let me make sure I write it out correctly. A little more, you know, boom. Let's do it right. Because y'all want to see it the right way. You know what I'm saying? So green dry erase marker, you know what I'm saying? Got the dead on, whatever, what we got to do. You know what I'm saying? I actually got the New York University, NYU purple hoodie on me right now. You know what I'm saying? That's how I walk through. It actually started raining right now. It actually started raining right outside. And I had to, boom, I got, the same trip, I bought that in the Bronx. Shout out to For You Fitteds, you know what I'm saying? For You Fitteds up in the Bronx. White Plains Road, y'all know what it is. Shout out to that spot. I don't know if you can really see it, but TTH 203. Kind of a faded, you know, green dry erase marker, but try to embolden it by doing a little writing on there, But hey, man, we back at it. Your boy been chilling here for about, whatever. I don't even know. I couldn't even tell you. On this same day, I did about 2 different Digimon live streams, and on top of that, I was over here just taking care of business, uploading some files, utilizing some things. So, I found my little Wi-Fi spots. But just so you know, man, we're gonna start off, reminding you exactly what it is, what it's about, man. I'm trying to tell you what's about right here, man. What am I trying to say? What is there to say? What is there to tell you, man? It's the university mindset. I'm gonna start it off all the time, every time that we do these Truancy joints. It's the university mindset, man. Let me explain it like this, man. University mindset. A lot of people get enrolled at colleges, universities, community, bigger campuses, just whatever, bigger campuses, the smaller ones, etc. The whole point I'm trying to make is that a lot of times they're going there for a certain amount of years to, get themselves a certain type of certification, if not a degree. But you yourself understand the degrees of things that you can handle, the threshold of things that you can handle. You understand every threshold and every degree of each specific threshold, that you can handle within your life and things that you've been through. And you can even certify yourself. You can certify the things that you've been through based off of other people certifying you, other people verifying what it is you've been through, other people that have been in your neighborhood, been in your household, been at your schools. A lot of people can verify you. Think about it. A lot of people can certify you, but you can certify yourself. So when I see university mindset, I don't want people to leave the house. I don't want anyone to leave the house or leave any space or place of comfort. If you're watching this video, or if you found this video, or if you're a subscriber already, the whole point is that you're probably viewing the content. Excuse me, you're probably viewing the content from a place of comfort. Sometimes some people watch shit on the bus, from a I couldn't even tell you, like from in transit from point A to B is what I'm trying to say. But most of the time, when people consume videos, they're in a place of comfort. So my point is, every time you leave that house, every time you leave that place, and you're going from point A to B, just carry the university mindset within yourself. If you don't feel validated because you're someone who attended school for a certain amount of time, you don't feel validated because someone told you that, yeah, you memorize all these things, you have a great score, a great grade level, whatever the fuck. I say this all the time, man. I'm a high school dropout. I did a couple courses in technical college and community college, but that community college also shifted to regular college. That was Seattle Central Community College. That was SCCC, and I also went to SVI, Seattle Vocational Institute. So did a bit of vocational stuff, but that was more on the lines of GED stuff that I was doing there. But I was spending time with adults when I was like 16, getting my GED. So I was on the mindset of like, hey man, I'm gonna drop out my sophomore year. If I drop out sophomore year, this is high school I'm talking about. I'll drop out sophomore year. I'm gonna get a job because I'm 16, and I'll be at community college because I got my GED. I'm gonna be like 2 years ahead of my class. That was the plan. But things didn't necessarily play out the way I thought it would. But nonetheless, we're here right now. And like I spent a couple times at the university campuses, whether I'm like with certain students or just walking through, just mobbing through, going to the games, supporting the Huskies, shit like that. But the whole point I'm saying is, it don't matter whether you're in university spaces, you know, peaceful spaces, places that you can sit there and study and like just sit there and be away from all the ignorance and all the craziness of the world sometimes. You know what I mean? This should be happening right outside the window. You can see the window right there. Not much going on right there because there's a little parking slope on the side of the building here and some trees and shit. But on that side, boom, on this street right here, you know, very special street over there, very special street over there. Not much I could really say about it. It's a very special street right over there, but a lot of crazy shit be coming up and down that block right there. Matter of fact, on the way here one time, this is like a couple months ago when it was still summertime, I was coming this direction. I seen a motherfucker that had a dead bird just cupped in his hand. And he tried to talk to me about what's going on. He said, what's the deal, player? What's going on today, man? What we doing today? I said, we ain't doing nothing, man. Why you got the bird in your hand? I'm over here thinking I might have to just, you know what I'm saying, swing on the dude because he right here on the right side. So I had the right cocked and ready, but the straight left coming down just in case it was necessary. That's a whole nother conversation, man. Fuck all that. But I just told him, I was like, he had asked me, he said, should I go into work today? Should I go to church? I looked at the dead bird in his hand. I said, you might want to go to church. You might want to go to church. That was a Sunday. I seen this dude on a Sunday. He was doing some wild shit, cupping a dead bird in his hand, but he said that he really cared for the bird. So I knew his heart was in the right place. So I was like, you know what, man? You might want to go to church. Like, I'm not a church going person, but I respect that you wanted to go do that thing, whatever, you know what I'm saying? So he's kind of crazy. That dude kind of crazy. So let's be honest. Let's tell the truth about it. Boom, truancy hour 203. We in them 200 sections, man. The whole point I'm saying is I'm going to start it off all the time. I like to ramble and shit because I ain't talked in a minute. I ain't really did this shit in like a week. So, you know me, I'm just catching up, really. I'm just catching up, man. I'm having fun out here, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, we in the university spaces. But before we even access that shit, whether you're in a university space, a college space, however you want to say it, a scholastic academic space, just understand that you have an education within yourself that is very valuable. You have a life experience that is very valuable. And if you know who I'm talking to, you know who I'm talking to. I might be talking to you. I might be talking to the next person. I might be talking to the next person. I don't really know. I don't really know. I'm just talking. I'm really just talking. You know what I'm saying? But one thing about me is I'm validating myself. Somebody could walk in the room right now and be like, what you doing in here? I'm like, you know what I'm doing in here. You've seen the sheet, the tall order, all that. You've seen the sheet, whatever. You see, you can go up there and ask them people what it is, man. You can look at the badge and see what it is, bro. We on time right here, like I said. So what point I'm making is whether you're within the university spaces, college spaces, scholastic, educational spaces, peaceful places, anything that's like a place where you can just get away and even just like sit there and up your education, if not up your, personal spiritual health and wealth and all that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? Just understand, but going from point A to B, sometimes, it can be crazy in the world out there, but you got to carry that university mindset. Remind yourself that you are a validated individual and you are a human being that deserves to be loved and respected. Just very, very simple. You deserve to be loved and respected. You know what I'm saying? It starts with loving and respecting yourself, respecting the fact that you went through some stuff, you probably survived it. Shit, if you're a young person, you got to start loving yourself now. And you'll be surprised at the things that you invite in your life. You'll be very surprised. Just carry the university mindset within you, even if you're not old enough to go to university, even if you're way past that age. Shit, I ain't going back to no university. I mean, if I got money, I might go. Just to be hanging out there and just learn a language. Just be in the university space, be on the campus, because I like talking to people, and I might just go just to learn a language and just converse with people and just make some friends. That's just the type of person I am. But point I'm making is this: Truancy Hour 203. Let's get to it, man. University mindset. Hopefully that makes sense to you. If you're confused about it, man, maybe tap into Truancy Hour 201, Truancy Hour 202. Just look that up, man. You might be able to just type it in YouTube. You might be able to find it because it just says that in the description. Truancy Hour episode 201, 202, 203. We're on 203 right now. Let's get to it, man. Stop playing these games, man. You know what I mean? Be like, Bane, you over here running your mouth. Now let's stop playing them games, man. As a matter of fact, I'm not even monitoring the time like that. Hold on, bro. Give me 1 second. The other crazy part was I was talking to this one lady, and she was talking about. I was like, man, because I sat there. I did my original recordings. My original recordings took about hour and a half, close to 2 hours, and I'm just asking her like, whoop wop. I'm asking all these questions. She's like, man, what was I gonna say? She said, you got 10 hours per month that you can use. I'm like, damn, I gotta find multiple spaces. So I'm over here utilizing my time to find multiple spaces to do these things. But let's talk about 203, man. Truancy Hour 203. I wrote it down. Matter of fact, I had a couple of notes that I had on the phone, and I thought about it. I was like, let's just minimize it, keep it on the university mindset, because that's where I'm at personally right now. Especially because it's hoodie season. When it's hoodie season, all my hoodies came from different universities. When I was out of town, I was visiting different cities and shit. But anyway, let's get to it, man. 203, the metaphors to life. What are the metaphors to life, man? We could break that down. Everybody says art imitates life, life imitates art. You see certain things, man. You know, Let me think about that a little bit, man. You think about some of your favorite artists, whether they're rappers and stuff. Sometimes rappers will have a perspective on life that they want to shed light on. They might want to shed light on, this is how my neighborhood was, this is how my apartment building was, etc. Things like that. This is how I am. This is how I operated in my neighborhood. This is who I was and I represented in my space and place. This is what rappers will get into, and a lot of times, like, other people will relate to it from city to city, and then they'll start amplifying the shit that they're hearing, because the thing about songs is you can keep replaying them. You can keep replaying the same songs over and over and just keep on living it, and even starting to embody, I'm saying, what is being said in these songs. So a lot of times, it's very tricky, especially if you've ever raised little women. I'm saying, like, I had a niece, but I got multiple nieces, but I had one main niece that we kind of raised. But it's just like, we were mindful not to play no crazy shit, because it's like, her mom like Lil Kim, and we like Lil Kim, and shit like that. We like hearing that type of hip hop, but sometimes it's like, hey man, we're not playing that shit for you. You're gonna listen to them fucking backyardigans and shit. You know what I'm saying? Rock the backyardigans, pause. Just rock with them and shit. But the metaphors to life, man, it's just like art imitates life, man. Life imitates art. Sometimes you just sitting there copying your favorite rapper, you end up becoming similar to them, man. Sometimes you might not even want to be as famous or even as lyrical as them, but then just understanding the way they carry themselves, just being fly and just walking around with a certain set of confidence, you might want to do that. And it goes for everything, man. You know what I mean? You could just sit there and study Basquiat and then just start and understanding, like, there's a deeper, the person that he was. You're like, okay, I just want to be myself. Basquiat was trying his hardest to be himself. Old dirty bastard, ODB, trying to be himself. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people really just trying to be themselves within this life. There's certain things that bog them down, bog their energy down. And you see these artists and you love and respect them from a distance. You don't even know them personally. People that probably know them personally, they probably don't even fuck with them like that. But just you as a fan, just seeing the good from them and what they're projecting, you're taking the good and you're taking that. And then you start, whoop, doing that. You know what I'm saying? Metaphors to life, man. One of the metaphors I wanted to think about and talk about. This is probably the first note. Let me double check my notes here. Boop boop. Yep, there it is. I started to think about this, man. I randomly had this thought last night, but I was also thinking about it as if I was having a conversation with a friend. And then for some reason, I thought about it as if I was having a conversation on a certain podcast. I won't say the name, but I just, we had these two hosts, and I just thought about if I sat down with both of them, if I just hit them with the convo type shit, you know what I'm saying? It might have played out this way, but that's just me dreaming. Who knows? It's just real simple, man. It's all about I don't know if you ever heard the saying, if not it is a metaphor in itself, but dropping gems. You know what I'm saying? When they say somebody's dropping gems, it's real simple. I mean, you could just be talking to somebody, you know what I'm saying? You could just be sitting there like, hey man, slow and steady wins the race. That might have been the first time you ever heard it. You might just be over here, a little kid speeding through life, and then you see the other kid who isn't speeding through life, and then he gets the job done and he's not tired at all. But you're over here just mashing out, you know what I'm saying? On some Russell Westbrook, Manny Pacquiao kind of energy, you just mashing out. And then you over here tired, but the job is done. But then the other dude, he's doing it real smooth. And then an adult, a teacher, a gym teacher is like, hey man, slow and steady wins the race. And that might be the first time you might have heard that shit. And another adult might have been like, yeah, that's right. You dropping gems on the kids, man. Dropping gems, man. What is a gem? Let's break that down a little bit for those that don't understand. Some people have English as a second language. Sometimes I forget about that. So let's kind of go slowly as possible, man. Because like we just said, slow and steady wins the race, right? Sometimes I don't, it ain't always true, but it ain't always true. I mean, I say most of the time it's true. Let's be honest. A gem, man. I mean, it's just like it's a jewel, a gem, a jewel. It's a precious rock, a priceless rock. Sometimes, but it does have a value to it. You know what I mean? Certain ones, like some people be like, you dropping gems, you spitting jewels. You know what I mean? This motherfucker really on some diamond type shit. You know what I'm saying? A diamond is, damn near indestructible. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure another thing that what cuts a diamond is a diamond cutter. A diamond cutter is made out of a diamond, a refined diamond, which is really interesting to my understanding. Or like it has fragments, if not portions of a diamond. So, the only thing that could really hurt it is itself. And a lot of times, you know what I'm saying, when you get around other people that are dropping gems, you want to get around people because it's like, hey man, steel sharpens steel, iron sharpens iron. You know that whole saying where it's just like, You want to get around people that are very like-minded, if not on the same wavelength frequency. On a physical frequency, two diamonds are on the same frequency physically. A table and another table. You know what I'm saying? These two separate whiteboards put together or put next to each other, they're of the same physical frequency. Might be slightly of different shapes, slightly different hues based off of the dry erase markers being used on them, but physically they're on the same frequencies. So, they can match each other. They can even destroy each other. They can reshape each other. You understand? So what is a gem? It's something valuable, obviously, man. You're dropping gems, you know what I mean? You're giving them out for free. It's like, damn, you got how many gems you got up in there, man? And can you just keep resupplying it? That's the idea, is the fact that your mind itself is an endless gold mine. The more you just sit there and you tinker with it, you can just sit there and create more jewels of different colors, different values, and people will value them based off of what they might need to hear that day. You might just tell somebody, like I said, somebody might just need to hear it today. Slow and steady wins the race. They might just need to hear it that day. They might just need to hear it that day. That might be the golden, if not the diamond jewel, what I'm saying, that they've been waiting to hear that day based off of the way they're living right now. I'll tell you something funny, man. Kind of opposite. Kind of opposite. Matter of fact, let me get the marker ready. But it's really interesting, man. I remember me and my friend, we used to leave, can't really say he's my friend anymore, but I know if I see him, I'm gonna hug him still. But I just, I really reflect on him. I think he's on some fucked up shit, let's be honest. But me and him, we used to box together, and we would leave the gym. And sometimes we would just go to the library and just use the internet for free. I'm like, why? He's like, why you always going to the library? I was like, I mean, shit, what else you want me to do? Sit around at the house? You want me to walk around the streets, get in trouble? I was like, I'm gonna sit at the library. I'm gonna listen to music all day. I might go on MySpace. I might answer some messages and just fuck with people all day type shit. So anyway, we sometimes we would just walk to the library because we didn't have no bus fare on us. That was back when it was 50 cents, 75 cents, whatever. And we would just walk because we were broke kids. We were cheap, but we couldn't afford shit. We didn't have no jobs. We would just walk from our, the hood all the way to downtown because downtown had a little bit of peace in there. Anyway, the point I'm making is that sometimes we have bus fare on us, so we're over here running for the bus. The bus is gone. It starts going, like 1 or 2 blocks to the next stop. We stop running. We stop running. We got the OG. We don't even know who he is. This OG that used to just be around, kind of Capitol Hill, Broadway area. Oh man said, man, what's wrong with you young brothers, man? I said, we missed the bus. Like, what you want? We tried to run for the bus. We missed it. He said, man, y'all still young. You see how old I am? I can't even run no more. You better sprint for that shit. We looked at each other like, yeah, he right. We just start sprinting 2 blocks. We caught up with the bus. We over here in the back of the bus, after putting the little quarters in, just panting and shit. You know what I'm saying? But that's all we needed to hear that day. And ever since that day, I was like, he right. As long as I still got my physical, what am I going to be complaining about? I know people 5 to 10 years younger than me with bad knees and bad whatever problems because they sit around all day. They don't even sit there and move. You understand? Another gem that we're going to drop here is motion is medicine, man. Move the body a little bit. Move the body and you'll see how you'll start rehabbing yourself a little bit. You'll be surprised. You'll be really surprised. But boom. Metaphors to life, man. Let's get into it real slowly. Well, let's write that down too, just as a little reminder. I don't know if you can really see that. Metaphors to life. And then we'll get into what I say, dropping gems, man. Let me give you some metaphors here. Like I said, your mind is a diamond, if not gold mine, however you want to put it, whatever gems you want to sit there and produce, whatever value you want to give them. Like I said, back to university mindset. You set the price, man. You set the price. You set the value. You tell yourself how smart you are. You tell yourself how beautiful you are, how loving of a person you're someone that deserves to be loved. You're someone that deserves to be respected. You don't need a diploma or some type of certification to get that. I mean, you need that shit for a job. Let's be real. In the real life, like, yeah, you need that for specific jobs. But you see, a lot of people be faking it till they can, they can make it. I know a dude right now who pretended like he had a bachelor's in some type of marketing or some shit, and he was doing that same job for 4 or 5 years. He was struggling, sitting there in those meetings, but he still got the same job to this day. I don't know how he did it, but motherfucker did it. He sat there and he said he gamed them people at the interviews. He made sure he got through. I'm not recommending this shit. I'm just saying. He told me that shit. He was telling us, he was like, yeah, man, I ain't never had no fucking bad. I just sat there and told the motherfuckers I did. I told them I'd present them the degree one day. They never asked. I never showed it to them. I showed up to work. I worked every day. We made the sales. They kept me around. Because it isn't required. It's recommended. It ain't required. That's a whole other conversation. Let's talk about dropping gems, man. A lot of times, bro, it just be one-on-one conversations with people. It be you and your best friend. It be you and someone you just met. But it's just boom. When you really think about it, everybody just sitting there. You know what I'm saying? Mine is in the dark, not in a dark place, but mine is in the dark. You just sitting there beating the pickaxe. It's just both of y'all, man. Just boom, 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 boom. Just one, two, one, two. Sometimes, man, you might be the third wheel friend or whatever. You just might be someone who want to enter the conversation. One, two, three, one, two, three, one, two, three. You number three now, right? You over here making the beats with the pickaxes. One, two, three, one, two, three. You just in there making the beats with the pickaxes. Everybody just over there vibing. It's a good frequency. Some people fuck up the whole conversation. Some people fuck up the flow, and then you just got to restart, or you just leave the whole cave or the whole base where the pickaxes are beating and making the drums. You know what I'm saying? Excuse me. Pickaxes beating and making some percussion. Let's be real specific about it. One, two, three. One, two, three. Use the third person. Like I said, you over there. Number one drops a gem. Motherfucker's over here beating on the wall. He drops a gem. I'm gonna be honest, man. I'm number three, but I'm gonna take that. We still keeping beat. One, two, three, one, two, three. Out of nowhere, three drops a gem. That's me. I look back. I'm a little greedy, but I'm like, you know what, man? And if someone else takes it, I'll look back. All right, let's get back. Let's get back on beat. Bump, bump, bump. We just over here vibing. You understand what I'm trying to say? You want to get around people where you could just sit there and keep a certain rhythm, if not a frequency, and then just keep building. Before you know it, you didn't pick through the whole damn cave. Before you know it, y'all done took each other's gems, took account of each other's progress, and really appreciated each other's work. You understand what I'm trying to say? When you're dropping gems with people, you got to understand, man. See, that's why a lot of people sit there and rely on a, what do you call this? What are we going to call this? A transactional relationship where it's like, hey, man, you pay. Think about what I'm doing right now, just sitting here talking. If somebody would have been right here or over there, just sitting there talking with them, you over here talking with people. Hey, man, I don't want to talk to nobody for free. You want to talk to me? You want to hear shit I got to say? That's $40 an hour. Start charging motherfuckers $40 an hour. You start upping the price because then people can validate your progress. Excuse me, they can validate you based off the progress in their life. Ain't no fucking $40 an hour no more. It's $100 an hour just to get some game from me. What we talking about? Start charging by the hour and the minute, etc. You see what I'm trying to tell you? Some people, when you conversate with them, you just vibing. You really just vibing. Some people really just like the fact that you're the one beating. Pause. You're the one beating over there. You know what I'm saying? Pause and just making the percussion. And they're taking all the gems that you drop. Motherfuckers just love to be around. Just ah. But like I said, don't allow people within your space, the place where you're trying to build or break down and build, break down, rebuild, etc. Don't allow them people in your space that can't keep you accountable, that ain't trying to share the same things that they do. And sometimes, if you come in as the third person, you might not even understand where the gems are kept. You might even know where to hit. You might even know what notes to hit on, but you just around and somehow you vibing still. But it's like, hey, man, he a little, you know what I'm saying? He in the wrong little section, but he keeping beat. He with us. He with the percussion. Or excuse me, with the percussion. You know what I'm saying? Number one is the kick, right? Number one is the kick, right? Number two be the snare, man. Three, you just the rim man. Pause on that. Number four, you might be the hi-hat guy. Five might be the, the rides. You know what I'm saying? 6, 7, 8. You can get some little sample, pop. You know what I'm saying? Pete Rock type of shit, Alchemist type of shit. You already know what we doing. We know what we talking about. Manny Fresh type shit. Manny Fresh type shit. Come on, man. You know what we saying. You know what we trying to say. You might not know. Never mind. My bad. But there it is, man. We dropping gems, man. Be careful who you dropping gems around. That's the whole point, man. Like, you might be around people. That's the thing about the internet. You could just sit there and drop gems. This might be one for somebody who might need to hear it. I don't know. It might be one. I don't know. Over here dropping gems, and man, some people just take it and they flip it into some other shit. Some people take them gems, they know how to break it down, make a nice little necklace out of it, make it show off real nice. But it has no function now. It just is what it is. But like I said, you be in certain spaces and places. If you ever need it, just boom. You know what I'm saying? Some people, like I said, pimps used to be locked up. Pimps would be locked up. They got all the gold in there. Pimps, pirates, and all that shit. They'd be locked up. They get arrested. They get detained or whatever. You know what I'm saying? However you want to look at it. Put on death row, etc. They take the gold out of the fucking ears. Take gold out the rings. Just sit there, pawn the shit off. Like this is valued at certain such and such and such. Let me pay my bail, man. Let me bail myself out of the situation, man. Pieces of gold and gem that was given to them. They rocking it, they looking nice in it, but they'll give it away in a heartbeat for the soul's freedom, just to keep living another day and to keep pushing forward. Yeah, you can have that shit. Don't take my life. That's simple. Drop them gems, man. What they say, man, run the jewels. What's more important, your life or the jewels, man? Think about it. What's more important, your life or the jewels, man? So I'm gonna stay dropping gems. I'm gonna stay just talking shit. Because sometimes some people be like, hey man, I remember that time you said this, then the third. I'm like, bro, I don't remember none of that shit. I just be saying shit. Hold on. I thought I saw someone in the window. That's just me. That's just a reflection. God damn, I'm over here like, what is this? What we on? But yeah, man. See what I'm trying to tell you? That's where we at with this, man. Dropping gems, man. I would just sit there and I would keep giving it away. That's my whole thing. If not my existence in the universe, I mean, I'll take what I can get. But understand, I'm gonna always keep giving. I will take what I can get. If things are coming my way, things fall my way, I will take it and thank so and so. I'll thank number one. Number one on the pickaxe, the kick man, the snare man. Number two, I'll thank them people for you. Boop, boop, boop. Gems start rolling my way. I'm gonna smite while I still keep beat. You know what I'm saying? Snatch a few. Boom, pocket. Keeping beat. Same time. You understand? I will take from the universe as much as I'm going to give. Matter of fact, I'll probably give a lot more to the universe. That's just the way I am. And I'd be surprised at the residual results, if not the dividends in the long run. This isn't like money dividends, but this is like a spiritual, you know what I'm saying, energetic dividend that comes my way, man. That's my whole thing with the pickaxes, though. Dropping gems, the pickaxe metaphor. That's where it is, man. I'm going to get to my second point. I don't think a lot of people can get here yet. Let's be honest, man. The metaphors to life, having a grasp on it, having a loving understanding about it, dropping gems and understanding the pickaxe percussion, understanding how you play a role in the beat, how you might either you're starting the song or you're just jumping in, you complimenting. A lot of people just sampling, a lot of people just collecting. You understand? That's the crazy part. A lot of people just collecting, let's be honest. A lot of people just collecting, a lot of people stealing, really. Before we get there, we got to master a bit of inner dialogue, man. Let's talk about that inner dialogue, man. What's that inner dialogue look like and sound like within yourself, man? Let's be real honest about it. Let's be real honest for a second. Hold on. I'm looking at the word dialogue. I don't even know if I spelled that shit right, man. I feel like it's that. Like Vogue. Dialogue type shit. You know, English language is funny like that. That's a U. I know it looked like a V, but it's a U. My bad. University mindset. Anyway, um, inner dialogue, man. You know, I'll tell you something like this. This is one thing I thought about growing up, man, my whole life. I used to box from the ages of like 12 to like 14, 15. I don't know if I'm doing it right. It might have been like, yeah, like 12 to like 15, 16, like a lot, like every fucking day, damn near. I was just in the gym. If I wasn't in the gym, I was doing some form or whatever. I would go to the, All Star Fitness. It'd be a little spot that was next to the offices across the street from the Columbia Tower. We'd be over there training. They got all the different machines. They got the free weights. They got all the cardio machines, all that shit. I used to just be in there as a fucking 13-year-old, just training amongst these adults all the time. I'd be training amongst adults every fucking day. Let's get it. Saturdays with the boxing team, etc. And my inner dialogue was like, stop being a bitch. Let's get into it today, bruh. Stop being a bitch. 4 a.m. Let's get up and run. I don't give a fuck if you tired, bruh. Let's get up and run. We get done running. We run all the way to the waterfront and back. Start doing a couple more laps around the neighborhood. Come back around. Go back home. Eat up like 3, 4 fried eggs type shit, or just scramble that bitch. You know what I'm saying? We had a little bacon on the side, some little sausage. We just fry that shit up. I just eat like a savage. Just eating. You know what I'm saying? I'm over here fighting now 110, 115 pounds type shit. Like, what we on, bruh? All the protein, just training and shit. Pause. But the crazy part about that is this, man. I will sit there in the inner dialogue. I was like, stop being a bitch. You got to get up and train. All this stuff. And then I just stopped training. And then the inner dialogue, it stayed the same, but it was like, hey, man, stop being a bitch. You got to get up and write a verse today. Stop being a bitch. You gotta do 2 verses today. Remember that day you did 5? You were so inspired you did 5? That lets you know you had the potential to do more than 1 today. Where's your writing at? Get back to writing. Things started to change. Now we got to get a job. Stop being a bitch. Go to the job. Make that money. Stop being a bitch, man. Call up the homie, man. It's Tuesday, Thursday. That's his days off. Let's go over there. Let's go record some music. Let's figure out how to do whatever. Finally got the laptop. Finally got Ableton. They finally set it up for me. So stop being a bitch. Time to learn how to make beats, man. It don't matter how you make it. Just figure it out. Figured out how to make the easy sample splices and all that shit. I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm going to try to get at this every day. Stop being a bitch. Let's get to it. Boom, 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 boom. The inner dialogue, you know what I mean? The inner dialogue, you got to think about that, man. It's stop being a bitch or else what? You understand? It was the drill sergeant within me, pause, that was sitting there having a conversation with myself, just sitting there trying to keep myself in check, keep myself busy, keep myself going. The inner dialogue was this conversation with myself that wasn't necessarily positive. It was someone who spoke negative as a form of motivation. Because the thing is, I would do it so much to myself because I didn't want no one else to do it to me. You understand? If you ever see my live streams where I'm sitting there playing basketball, I'll talk a whole lot of shit to myself, bro. I'll talk a whole lot of shit to myself because whether I'm on the court with other people or other people trying to help me train, no matter what it is, I don't want them talking shit to me. I talk the most shit to me. I keep myself accountable. That's the way my mentality is, at least. But here's my thing with the inner dialogue, man. You got to be careful with the words you're choosing because it's like you're sitting there creating, what do you call this, man? A standard. Anything less than what you're looking for is some bitch shit. You'll always look less of yourself. And when it's time to elevate the next person, if necessary, if not someone who's asking about the help that they might need, you don't even know how to talk to them because the way you talk to yourself is so harsh. You don't want to deal with them harshly. You understand? I got enough love and decency for these people where I'm just like, I don't want to talk to you crazy. I'll talk to myself that way to motivate myself. I would never want to, I don't know if I want to drill sergeant this person. I'll do it to myself all fucking day. Now, let's be honest. Is that a level or a form of self hate? I don't fucking know. It might be. It might be the fact that other people didn't necessarily see the value in me. It might have been the fact that I didn't see any value within myself unless I created myself into a killing machine, into an artistic machine, an art machine, a music machine, something of value. You understand? I had to drill that into me. Pause on that. Come on, man. We got to pause everything now. English language, crazy. Just to get shit right. You understand? So the inner dialogue is important, man. It's always been important to me. And like I started to introduce this thing because like, I did therapy for about a year and I started sitting there talking about like, I just, I do a whole lot of shit talking within myself, more importantly, because it's like, I'll never let people do that. Like I'm the type of person, you know what I'm saying? If I'm sitting here, someone's like, hey, can you give me my bowl of ice cream? I'm sorry, I left it over there. I'll carry it. I'll walk over there. If I'm walking across there, right? And I fucking trip over, I want to be the first person to be like, oh man, I'm fucking clumsy. I'm fucking stupid. I want to be the first person to say that because I can't handle if somebody says it first. If I fall over and someone's laughing, they're like, ah, you fucking stupid, you clumsy. I'm like, man, shut the fuck up. I'll fuck your knee up and turn you into somebody clumsy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll fuck, you know what I'm saying? That's how it feels. It really pissed me off. So to prevent myself from being pissed off sometimes, I'll sit there and I might even demean myself, if not self-deprecate myself. But I'm like, hey, never no more. I mean, I do it in a jokey way with certain friends that understand that, but I never make it a habit. You understand? You can always do things jokey and in a funny way, in a fun way, as long as it's clear. As long as it's clear, let's be honest. Gotta be clear, right? My whole point is this, man. Inner dialogue is tricky, So like I said, I did that year or so of therapy, just trying to get it in as much as I could. It was like once a week, if not every other 2 weeks. Sometimes we had to delay certain appointments, but we really started tapping into some shit, and that's when I started realizing. And even within myself, and just talking with other friends, I'm like, that inner dialogue, that drill sergeant, that motherfucker just sitting there, what I'm saying, March 1, 2, hut, all that shit, March 1, 2, hut, drill sergeant type of shit. Get right, stop being a bitch, all that. Stop being a bitch, stop being a bitch. Like all that shit just started sounding like a rhythm to me. And it wasn't like understand, I would hear the shit and respond to it. I would hear myself talking to myself and I would respond to it. I would hear the negativity. I'd be like, nah, I can't be on that low level negativity shit. We gotta wake up today and get something done. We gotta wake up and train today. We gotta wake up and write today. We gotta wake up and create today. We gotta wake up, show up to work. We gotta wake up and do a lot of things. You understand what I'm trying to tell you? But I would hear it because you got to understand, you hear it periodically, so there's a rhythm to it. You hear it when you wake up, so it's always at the moment of dawn. It's always at the moment when you open your eyes. So it's rhythmically always on time. It's always on time, and you can respond to it. You know what I'm saying? And just understand that like this is, you don't destroy the voices in your head. You don't destroy the voice that is yours. It is your voice. It is yours. But my thing is now I deal with this voice now, that inner drill sergeant kind of person, that inner soldier that's trying to self-motivate myself, the inner warrior that tries to self-motivate myself, whatever, however that might be. It might be some Avatar Last Airbender shit. You might just be talking to an old past life version of yourself that's like, hey man, you got all this potential in your generation, make something happen. You might just be, I don't know. We don't fucking know. I can't prove shit. I'm just being honest here. But like I say, you hear this every day. Everybody has that inner voice, if not that kind of thing that talks to them and tells them, hey man, relax today. Your voice might be a little different, like, hey man, relax today. Hey man, go back to bed. Hey man, sleep in today. It might be telling you, it might be dialing you back rather than trying to push you forward every day. You understand what I'm trying to tell you? You hear it periodically. It's your voice. It's yours. It's your inner dialogue. It's yours. Yours comes at a certain time of day. Mine is just in the morning for some reason. Mine is right before bed sometimes. But like I say, it's always at a certain, it never misses a beat. It never misses a beat. So what does that mean? You could sit there and listen to it follow orders. You can sit there and listen to it and succumb to it. Or you could just sing a duet with it. Every time it gives you something, every time it gives you a bar, every time it gives you a word, you give it another word or a phrase back that rhymes with it. Every time it insults you, you find the time of day and you have a response to it. You understand? Statement, response, statement, response, statement, response. That's a beat right there. Create the beat out of it. Create the duet out of the inner dialogue. That's one thing I learned. One of the therapists was telling me is like, it is your voice, right? Like when you hear the voice, is it yours or is it someone else's? I'm pretty sure it's mine. Okay, then it's your voice. So you don't want to destroy your own voice. It's how you talk to yourself. Yeah, we can refine how it is, but there's gonna be moments where like, yeah, you might revert back to being the drill sergeant, if not the soldier. And how do you respond to that person? Do you succumb to it and do you believe in the bullshit? Or whatever? You don't have to. But that inner dialogue becomes something that you have a duet with. It's conversation, it's talking, rapping is just rhythmic conversation. You sit there and have the duet with it. Just spit verses back to back, bars back to back. Just sit there and cipher with it. You understand what I'm trying to say? Duet, cipher. Come on, man. You know the metaphors here. Duet, cipher, and what is the other? I forgot what I was trying to say. It doesn't have to be a battle. You don't have to battle within yourself. It could be cooperative. Let's think positively. Let's use positive words within our inner dialogue now. Like I said, before you can sit there and drop them gems, is your inner dialogue positive? Is it good to hear? If it doesn't sound good within yourself and positive and uplifting within yourself, why are you trying to give that out to the world? Oh, I relate to that harsh kind of, yeah, sure, whatever. I relate to that too. But I'll never accept it from anyone else but myself. So because I would never accept it from anyone else but myself, why would I try to project it to someone who's trying to accept it? Does that make sense? I don't want anyone talking negative to me just to motivate me. I would never want to hear that shit anyway. I'm like, get the fuck out of my face. I already talk to myself like that. And we duet and we sit there and we just we rap cipher all the time about this shit. And we get shit done, as you can see. Collaborative effort within yourself. Because it's like I would love, because I sit there and I self-motivate myself in many type of ways and forms. All I need to really hear from the universe and people is just some positive shit and some feedback, and I will take them gems. But like I said, I'm within a positive mindset. I'm within a university mindset. I'm in a very, very happy mindset with myself. And you're talking to someone who's dealing with high levels of grief. What is the flip side to the coin of grief? It's love. If you know anything about the heart chakra and things that relate to that, and the colors I'm rocking right now, we got the green and pink like it's nothing, man. That's the heart chakra. That's the love and grief in tandem. That's what we're talking about. Before you can sit there and drop gems, man, is your inner dialogue. Is it acceptable? Think about your inner dialogue. If your inner dialogue is something that you wouldn't want to hear from someone else in the world, don't sit there and try to drop gems. Don't sit there and try to talk to nobody. You understand? Let's be real about it. And that's what I'm trying to say. Once you start fixing that up, once you start warping that up, I think you'll be all right. That's just my little thought process here. Hey, man. Sometimes people's inner dialogue is a form of someone wrestling with themselves, wrestling with their own thoughts. That's a very physical metaphor. You're just sitting there wrestling with your own thoughts, man. You know what I'm saying? You ever go to a wrestling camp, a wrestling training session, Brazilian jiu-jitsu in general, judo, aikido, things that use like bits of grappling, capoeira, if you will. And then you ever deal with someone who just silat, you know what I mean? And you deal with someone who just, you're over here pop, pop, tapping, you're trying to tap out because they're going too hard on the hold, you're tapping, and then they just go a little too whatever. That's what happens when you collaborate with people that just sit there and want to, you know what I mean, Does that make sense? The masters and senseis will set the tone though. They'll just sit there and like they'll make an example of the guy that they think might be the crash out. They'll just tap when you need, boom, 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 tap when you need, tap when you need, boom. You know what I mean? Grab the leg a little. Oof. When you get that ankle, that's all you got to do. Sometimes just wrap it right there, lift up, little wedges. It's over, man. That's a whole nother conversation. That's a whole nother conversation. But sometimes you work with people like that. But you see, the thing is, when you work with yourself, you can tap out at any point. Sometimes people don't want to. I know some people who are so smart and strategic logically that they think 10 to, if not 100 steps ahead when you conversate with them. They have an answer for damn near every argument. They don't have an answer for getting punched in the face, but they do have an answer for damn near every argument in conversation. They got an answer for everything. So they've went through all the mental gymnastics already. They've spun it around. They've wrestled with the thoughts themselves all day. They never back down to their own thoughts, and they've come to certain conclusions, and they're ready for every type of argument. Some people are built like that. I've met some people like that. It's crazy. It's a beautiful thing though, but you just can't talk to them. It's just funny because they just want to hear themselves. Back to inner dialogue, man. That talking, that conversation. If you look at it that way, if you hear the voice in your head that's sitting there, drill sergeanting and soldiering you to get back into shape and to do what you have to do that morning. Sometimes you just wrestle with thoughts. Sometimes you have multiple thoughts and you're just physically wrestling with them. You want to wrestle with someone who will have, what do you call this? You yourself within yourself has to be a good sparring partner. Quite simply, I've known some people that do jujitsu and they sit there and tell me like, yeah, we was over there rolling with so and so, and they just sitting here like they wasn't hearing or they didn't feel the tap. You got to tap the person's thigh. You got to tap the person's shoulder. Sometimes you got to just, hey man, oh, let go. And some people just want to keep going. It's just like you want good sparring partners. I come from boxing. I come from striking, so it's just sitting there like we just sitting there whipping it out real quick. The way you whip a towel and you bring it back, you can turn your muscles are the same thing. It looks fast, it look hard, but you just sitting there just tapping people. Boom, little tap. Not even full power. Not even full power. We just doing little love taps, but it's real quick, high speed. Little quick twitches. Just getting them out. We're not trying to knock you out, get you out of there. We're just trying to let you know, like, hey, I can reach you and I can hit you where you're open. You're open. You're open. You're open. I ain't gotta hit you that hard. And the whole point is like, hey man, I'm hitting you light because if I go full power, boom, right on the solar plexus where I just landed real lightly, it's donezo. That inner dialogue, man, to do it in cipher, like I say, that's the voice side. But if you yourself are just a person wrestling with the thoughts are your sparring partners. Make sure your sparring partners aren't too sharp or too toxic, spiky. They're not too jagged. Make sure that they know when to. You understand what I'm trying to say? Make sure your thoughts are not above your weight class or your thought level. When you're wrestling with that shit, man, your own thoughts have to be a good sparring partner. Thoughts. I don't know if that makes sense. They need to equal something that's on your level, if not can handle you, or you can handle it, basically. You have to be able to handle it. A good sparring partner is someone that can even be more elite than you. You understand? The thought of something. The simple thought of like, hey man, I'm too young and immature to think about marriage. I'm too young and immature to think about my life and legacy and things like that. I'm too immature and young to think about that. But I want to wrestle with those thoughts. I want to wrestle with the minimum of it, the maximum of it, all different levels and degrees of it. You understand what I'm trying to tell you? It's something that's beyond your means, man. Just the concept. Like just I remember, being around someone having a dinner conversation with them. They talked about, oh yeah, you doing stocks and crypto and shit. I couldn't even fathom it. This is a female I'm talking to. She's over here like, oh yeah, you doing stocks and crypto? I don't even know my mind can mentally go there and whatever. And I'm like, listen, if you ever want to talk about it, we can just sit down and we'll slowly walk through it. And I'll just show you my investing process. I wouldn't put you in crypto. I would put you in stocks because it's more tangible and understandable, and then there's more like public knowledge on it, and you can make your own decisions. It's your money. But crypto, I wouldn't put you through that. And then that's what I told her. And mind you, this is like a date. We're over here talking, and at some point in the conversation, she goes, and we're like the same fucking age. So she goes, yeah, I just been working since I was a teen. I've been working since I was a teen too. I'm just tired. I'm ready to retire. Here's the thing. I knew her parents. Her parents are like 20, 25 years older than her. 25 to 30 years older than her. I say that because she has like older sisters. And I'm like, bitch, they've been working 30, 40 fucking years. Like, what are we talking about? But you want to retire. After like 10 years of service to the bullshit industries you hopping in and out of and shit. Oh, I'm ready to retire. I was like, bitch, you ready to retire, but you don't want to learn math and do stocks. Shut the fuck up. So that's the funny shit that I be on, man. That's the funny shit that I be dealing with, man. But like I said, thoughts are good sparring partners. Because it's like I seen the bullshit. I'm not trying to call her out on her bullshit, but I'm just like, we just talked about this. All right. But she really was just saying that because she wanted me to help. She wanted me to be the person she could lean on financially. She was hearing all this shit that I'm talking about. Like, I'm not even well off, let's be honest. But she's over here like, oh my god, he knows this shit. So that's why that conversation started going that way. Because it always goes that way when I talk to certain females. It's kind of funny. Yeah, so anyway, thoughts are good sparring partners, man. Don't wrestle with something that you don't want to know yet, man. Some people don't want to sit there and think about the beginning of time or the end of the universe. So they don't even sit there and bother thinking about it. They don't even wrestle with it. It's like, man, that's just out of I ain't ready to grasp that. You know what I'm saying? Back to the metaphors. I'm not ready to grasp that. I don't even want to. That basically lets you know you don't even want to tangle with that thought or that idea. You know what I'm saying? I personally like tangling with the thought of death a lot. I don't like tangling with the thought of death when it comes to other people and loved ones in my life. I don't ever want to think about them dying. But I want to think about, like, hey, man, before I die, I got to have all these things in place and all these examples, if not all these videos, bam, there it is, Truancy Hour 203. That's where we at, man. I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm actually gonna circle. I actually had some more extra stuff to add to this, but that might be something I might just throw on to the next episode. Let's be honest with it. So let me circle that out right here. This will be interesting, man. I will leave it at that, man. Like I said, I try to keep shit short and sweet now as much as possible. Got my little notes here. All we need now is just the boom. Alrighty. Hey, man. You're gonna find me out here in public or whatever, man, just in certain spaces, places, whatever. But just know that when I leave the house, I carry the university mindset with me. Personally, I'm saying that within this time and era and within this time and space right now, because somewhere down the line, I could end up like some of my friends who are homeless, if not dead. Somewhere down the line, I could just end up somewhere where I'm a lot more whatever. I don't know, but right now in the moment, I feel like it was necessary to do this, create this. It ended up happening. Boom, there it is, right there, man. Truancy Hour 203, man. You know what I'm saying? We only got the spaces for so long. Utilize the time within the space. You only got the spaces for so long. Utilize the time within the space. Put this right here, man. Hey, man. There it is. Love y'all. I appreciate y'all, man. Peace out.